Good day and welcome. Matthew here again. We are at Nations Cup, Dragons Trail Gardens 2, well, reverse, in the Group 4 cars. And basically, this one, if you didn't turn up in an Alpha, you probably weren't going to go that well. The Toyota was competitive, but you lost too much time at the end of the race with poor tyre wear on the front. So the Alpha was the best car all round. It wasn't quite the quickest over one lap, but it was certainly fast enough. Sidog puts on the pole for this round ahead of Makosi, and you see I fell behind Schnick in qualifying, and Schnick goes wide through here, and I see it and try to take advantage of him going up the inside here, and then I decide to give him a bit more room. I cut that curb, it spits me, I go wide, and it cost me big time. A bump there for no apparent reason. It's just sitting in the middle of the grass, and then I understeer through here. Smitty, is it, on the left, tries to go on the outside of me. Unfortunately, I do tap him as I understeered with dirty tyres. We got the bumper basher on the left, and then Smitty comes back at us because we're both slow through that corner. I completely missed my braking zone into this one, and then they go up the inside of me. Smitty does, bumper basher gets, I think, a little bit sideways, and I sit into Smitty's draft. So this is exactly not how I planned this race to go at all, but it's the cards I've been dealt with. So I thought I was going to be able to, from my position, I'd be able to get ahead of Schnick and maybe battle Sidog and Makosi. My qualifying was down on my actual pace, so I was quite confident I could get past Schnick and get on. And when I saw Schnick make that mistake, I thought I'd attack him pretty early into that corner. I couldn't commit hard enough without pushing him out of the way. I tried giving him the room as he was coming back across the left, and you saw what happened, the incident that happened. So, you know, you think of it's a good move in the moment, and it all goes pear-shaped very, very quickly. But you saw the intention, you saw the gap open up. I was like, yeah, I can do this. I know I had more grip, I had good bite in the tyres at that time, so I thought I could make the move stick. But it turns out Schnick had gathered it up, pulled it back across the road, and by that stage I was a little bit too committed and had to cut across that curb. And sometimes the curb will spit you and sometimes it won't, and that time it did kick me up in the air. It bounced me in a funny way, and I just went straight to the scene of the accident. So fortunately there were no other casualties in amongst all of that, and I did not pick up a penalty, which was the next worry. But now sitting down in 8th, my first race I actually went off at that same corner by myself and ended up, I think, 12th by the end of it. I happened on the 6th. It happened on the second last lap, and I didn't want that to happen again. So now it was just about concentrating on getting past Smitty, and I figured if he wasn't going to defend into this corner, I was just going to overtake him. I should be better on the brakes. I braked a lot later than he did, and later than I normally would, but I still managed to pull it up. I did hit that curb, not the curb, the sausage curb in the middle of that left-hander, which meant my car bounced, so I had to wait. If I'd just squeezed the accelerator, the car would have spun, so I had to wait, be patient. Because of that, and the understeer, I did hit Smitty on the X of the corner. It wasn't too big of a deal. I think our bumpers touched, but it wasn't too bad. But I did get away with it. Got ahead of Smitty, and I was watching my rear view. I thought he might dive, but he doesn't. I take the corner nicely, and now I'm looking forward to 6th place, who's about 3 seconds up the road. So now it's about recovering this position, try to get back to 3rd, but we're a long way back. So 6th is next on the list, and he's about 3 seconds up the road. So a lap later, and GTX 601 has made a few mistakes. He's actually fallen back a lot faster from 5th place than I had thought he might. So a few mistakes in his driving, and I'm within a second almost. So I catch him quite nicely through that chicane, get a good run out of it, and now it's just a matter of getting a good run through the final corner. And I know compared to the Porsche, the Alpha is much better through this last corner, so I knew I could do it. I knew I could get a good run. He does also make a mistake, which does make it a lot easier. I had to pull to the inside very quickly because I was afraid I was going to tap him. I couldn't quite pull past him, but I knew I was better on the brakes, had the inside line, just nice and late on the brakes, claimed the apex, and he can't do anything about it. I get a good clean run out of the first corner, and away down the next straight, and he is not close enough to challenge me into the next left-hander, so job done. Looking forward to 5th, who's now about 2 seconds up the road. Or not, as it turns out. So Schnick from 3rd place spins out through the long left-hander, and I move up to 5th, which I was pretty happy with at the time because he was ultimately my goal on lap 1. So even though I didn't actually overtake him, you know, a battle for a position, I'll take it. I'll take it. I fell off already, so now it was his turn. So I'll take 5th off him. So now looking at 4th, about, I think, 3 seconds up the road. 3rd and 4th are very close. And then Sidog and Makosi are about 6 or 7 seconds up from where I am at the moment. So they're really out of my reach at this stage. But I thought I could get 4th and maybe 3rd. I really thought 3rd was on from here. 3 seconds, we've got about 5 laps to go. And I was holding a decent pace, so I thought we might get there. So on to lap 6, and this was the 4th place I was going for. Even though we're looking at Sidog, it's because he makes a very small mistake through the exit of the triple left-hander, triple apex left-hander, or whatever it is. So he clipped the curb, spun it round, which I actually haven't done myself. I've hit that curb and then it's bounced me into the air and understeered me to the outside, but can't say I've spun out there. So Sidog, I guess as per usual, doing things that I can't do, and spun the car out in that curb. So that gave me one more position up to 4th, and all of a sudden I was thinking maybe I can catch little fella who was now holding 2nd position, and after falling off the track on lap 1 to potentially be looking at 2nd, I'll still catch them at a decent rate, so potentially be looking at 2nd. It was all getting rather tasty at the sharp end of the field. So as you can see, heading into lap 8, I am 1.2 seconds behind Frithy in 3rd, and we hit this braking point and I just understeer off the track. So we've had a change in the way the draft works now, and this is my first, I guess, time coming across from this far back. So at 1.2 seconds you actually start to hit the dirty air of the car ahead, which does mean that your, I guess, grip, your downforce is compromised, therefore you can't brake as late, you cannot turn as easily or as well, and you find yourself understeering. And I put on the brakes at about the same rate that I normally do, just on the darker patch of the road just before the curb on the left, and that's been my braking point for the Alpha since I've been practicing it. And this time it was 1.2 seconds. As soon as I put on the brakes, I could hear the tyres squeal, and I knew it wasn't sort of pulling up as fast as it normally did. So as of 1.2 seconds to about 0.8 of a second, you do hit this dirty air zone, which can really compromise and cost you some lap time, especially if you're not ready for it. And I certainly wasn't. I didn't think it was going to affect me that far back. And even through, like I said, this corner here, you'll see me understeer quite badly through this right-hander. I'm pretty sure it's this lap. I'm having to lift off multiple times. It's just not gripping. Like, I am wearing the tyres a little bit, but it should have easily held 175 through that corner, especially lifting off and trying to get a bit more grip on the front end. It just would not come back to me, no matter what I did. So it's quite a fascinating change, quite an interesting change. I'm not sure if it's one that's required, because in Gran Turismo most of the races are 8, 9, 10 laps, so they're reasonably short races. They're quite sprinty races. So having this sort of dirty air zone behind a car at 1 second roughly, it's going to make battles harder. It's going to make things more interesting. I do like it, and I do like the change that the slipstream is not as effective as before, where if you're in somebody's slipstream, even in a slower car, you could pull up the back of somebody and probably overtake them into the next corner, provided the straight was decent enough. And now it's not as effective. You need to really nail your corner exit, get a good run on the car ahead, as well as a slipstream to get ahead of them. So I do like that aspect. I'm not sure the dirty air effect. Like, there was always dirty air in Gran Turismo Sport, but it's sort of been pronounced or enhanced a bit. So it's certainly a lot more difficult. By the time I'd figured that out and gotten it down, I am approaching him and I get within about 8/10, but last lap, can't do anything about it. So Frithie is going to stay third and Little Fella takes second. So really nice run by those two. Not usually at the sharp end of the field, especially in the top rank room. So really good effort, just hanging on the track, had decent pace to stay there, and a really nice job by those two sticking to second and third. So that was the race. Turned out to be a bit of a blast. I was fair and the worst after the lap 1 incident with Schnick. I thought I may just fall back and then pick up another penalty off Smitty. Luckily I got away with that. I don't know why. The game gods must have been smiling on me for that one. So coming back through the pack from 8th to pick up, I think, 4th at the end. I was really hoping for that podium. The change in the slipstream kind of caught me by surprise. I was really surprised at how much I understeered. And that cost me half a second, which I then had to regain, which I had by the end, but at that stage it was too late. 2 little laps too late. And Little Fella in second did a really good job to hold on and had very good pace at the end too. So he'd actually gapped the third place driver by quite a way. So even if I'd gotten to third place, I would never have touched second. So well done, Little Fella, for keeping hold of second and getting second in this race. So that's it for me. Had a blast doing it. Wish there was more of a variety of cars and not just the Alpha that was the dominant car here. But that's okay. I'm hoping they're going to work on their track car combos in the future, or more than just the settings, so the fuel and the tyre wear mix just can be, I guess, set up a bit better, so you see more different types of cars taken to the track and different strategies being thrown out there. Because they seem to get them quite good with Daily Race C that they throw up every week. They have quite good combos and you can pick a few different cars and throw a different strategy or two at it and you can come out on top. Where the Nations Cup recently, it's been there's one car, the fastest strategy, and you stick to it, and there's nothing you can do about it really. There's one strategy to use. So hopefully they improve on that in the future, just because I like to see a variety and I guess different thoughts and different strengths and weaknesses coming out from different cars, as opposed to effectively one-make races. If they're going to do one-make races, do one-make races, but don't put up a, you know, pick any Group 4 car, but there's only one car that's going to be any good around here, you know? Anyway, that's enough from me. Hope you enjoyed what you saw. Thank you for watching. Hope you enjoyed what you saw. Is that even English? I don't know. If you did, give me a like and a subscribe. If you want to see these races live, you can follow me on Twitch. The link is in the description below. But until next time, thanks for coming along, and we'll see you then. Bye-bye.